Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to All Beer Inside. Today we've traveled south of the border. We are in Peru, New York, and joining me is Keihin and Zeke of Livingood Brewery and Pub.
Yeah.
I'm like, brewery and restaurant, brewery and pub?
Brew pub.
Brew pub.
Yeah.
Livingoods. Guys, thanks a lot for hosting us today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
I look forward to hearing the story of Livingoods and your brew history. First off, you brought me some tasty looking beers here to try. What am I starting with?
So you got our flagship right here is JED. It's a New England style IPA.
Okay.
That's something that actually was here when I started brewing here. But since I've pretty much adopted it into my own recipe and just kept the name, you know.
Beautiful nose.
Strong nose
Awesome.
on it.
As we do. Yeah. A toast. A toast.
Cheers.
Oh yeah. Light, crushable, not like crazy hoppiness.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we dry hop it.
Oh, that is a dangerous beer for me.
Yeah, it's about 8 pounds. 8 pounds of hops we put in that, just dry hopping, and then about 10 in the kettle. So I've since I got here, I've actually been lowering the IBUs on it slowly, and then like changing my yeast, like my dry hopping methods, like slowly, and just trying to, you know, up it as much as I can for being our beer that, you know, gets sold the most out of here. So
Very cool.
yeah.
So what's the history in beer? What brought you to creating craft beer?
So originally, I was a chef, so I was working in quite a lot of restaurants around here, and then down in the Corning area as well. And then, you know, COVID hit, lost all of my jobs, and you know, just much like everyone else, really. And I was living at the time with a really good friend of mine, the head brewer of Valcor, actually, Valcor Brewing. So he brought me in on some of his brew days, and you know, he's like, you know, I know you don't want to work in kitchens anymore, so like, why don't you give, you know, the beer industry a try? And I fell in love with it immediately. Pretty much from there, moved down to Pennsylvania, work in a production facility, and that's where I really started to learn how to brew. It was a Swashbuckler. It was the biggest Renaissance fair in Pennsylvania. So we did, you know, had about 13 bars on grounds, 12 bars that we stocked every weekend. And I mean, it's a 15-barrel system I was brewing on, pushing into 30-barrel fermenters all the time. And, you know, started out big and then trickled down into brew pub to, you know, condense it a little bit. But
Sounds like you've been quite all over the place now, Peru, New York, after all
absolutely,
that. It's quite the journey of beer. Zeke, yourself?
Okay, so I started as home brewing, and I did it for like 2-ish years, about 3 years now. And I still homebrew occasionally, much less though. Yeah, for sure.
I did warn him that was going to happen too when I hired him.
Yeah, sometimes you get home and you're like, don't feel like kegging a beer because you just kegged a bunch of beers.
Or canned, or bottled, or...
Yeah, or whatever. But I still like to do it, and so I started as homebrewing, and I also worked in kitchens. I was a line cook at a restaurant in Plattsburgh for a few years. Worked at Monopole we were talking about in the kitchen there as well. I've worked at a lot of different places, and I've wanted to come into the industry for a long time. And Keihin hooked it up. Yeah.
I mean, him and I were friends before I hired him, so we had homebrewed, you know, tons and tons of times. So I already knew he had that kind of past experience, so just brought him in and gave him a foothold into the industry.
Yeah.
Monopole, I believe, is one of the oldest bars in America, from what I understand.
Yeah, 1897 it opened.
Yeah. You know, I was lucky enough to have already known it, and it's just, it feels like a chill place.
No, it absolutely is.
So,
favorite bar in this town for sure.
Oh, it's
aside from my own.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah, come to Livingoods first, and then trickle your way down to Monopole.
Exactly.
Just so many Montrealers I know are like, Monopoles. Just the pizza, the wings. Yeah. Now craft beer selection there from what I saw last time. So
I think it's 18 taps they have now, and I mean all from different breweries all over the place. So.
It's fantastic. Are you guys there, or you're hoping to get in there at some point? Or?
Soon will be, actually. Okay. Yeah, it was just in talks. So I think I'm going to put JED in there at some point. But yeah, super excited for that. Honestly, I'm in a bunch of different places all around Plattsburgh. Just Monopole hasn't been one of them yet.
Yeah. And now, from what you know of the history of the previous owners of Livingoods, it started in Plattsburgh as a kind of little pub, and now it's here.
Yeah. I don't know if you know where Sip is downtown. It's a restaurant called Sip. Yeah, so we were there originally, and then the owner Matt wanted to get his way into the brewing world, and so then they bought this building, built a brewery, kept the restaurant, you know, and just kind of like let it go from there, and then you know switched hands a few times, and I was originally the assistant brewer here, and then the head brewer went on to bigger and better things, and then I took over from his spot, so now it's just me running the show here with Zeke.
Yeah. So you're already like, oh, well, I'm already working on these recipes, and now I get to experiment on top of that. And
yeah, absolutely.
Sounds like you guys communicate pretty well on a brew day. With,
yeah.
Hey, let's try something new. Let's try this. And,
yeah.
The menu is completely different from the last time. The last time I was here was just after we were allowed to travel back to the U.S. again.
Oh, yeah.
After 2 years. So it's like, and your menu is another reason I come here. Is the food is fantastic.
Oh,
so
thank you.
I don't know who your chef is or was, but when last time I was here in 2021, it was like, so happy I got to come back here.
Yeah,
so.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we bust our ass back there, but we bust our butt back there.
Yeah. I'm assuming food is a huge part of the menu too. Do you guys have like a food beer combo you do?
Yeah, so we always have wing specials throughout the week, and we have a lot of like really interesting sauces. I know like a lot of our dry rubs are really good that we've just started like pushing out. But I always make sure to do pitcher specials at the same time because everyone loves beer and wings together,
Yeah.
And it's like, I have an American cream ale that I always make sure, so many burgers that we have on our menu too. I always try to push the cream ale and like our Pilsner especially too. So I'm like, it's just typical to have a burger with a Pilsner right next to it or an American light lager right next to it
I think it was the Philly cheesesteak I had last time.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
And my dad is a huge fan of the Philly cheesesteak here. He hasn't been to Philly, that's why. So I'm like, it's great, but it's not Philadelphia.
Yeah, we're lucky it's New York.
Yeah, but I mean, wings are such a huge thing when it comes to beer.
Especially around here. Pizza too. I mean, people rave about our pizza pretty often.
Locals really step up when the pandemic was hitting, coming in, picking up orders,
Absolutely,
stuff like that. Yeah, that's always, I love hearing that is the locals really.
Yeah.
We need you to survive because you're our hang.
Yeah, especially in our town here. Peru is I'd say probably half the size of Plattsburgh itself. So it's a smaller community, which is nice though, because we always see familiar faces here. And, at the end of one of my brewing shifts, I can come out and, talk to quite a few people I see on a regular basis and just, update them on new beers that are coming out even that they get really excited about. So that's always nice.
Yeah. Was it nice for the Canadians to start returning here too
Yeah,
when we were
absolutely.
allowed to come back?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's part of how we survive, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, when we were speaking with the boys in Untappd, he's like, I never thought I'd miss the French Canadian accent. And then came back and I'm like, like they're back.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, it's nice. And most Canadians live close to the U.S. We're a friendly, like the longest, I think, unmilitarized border across the world.
Yeah.
And let's keep it that way. Let's keep fun and, something's different, but let's... For us, it's mutual love of craft beverages, from beer to cider to wine to everything, is just support local, and that's what we're about, and that's why we're trying to get names out there to people who don't know about you, maybe who are visiting Plattsburgh, see us, and then like, it's only 10, 15 minutes away. Let's travel on down the I-87 and grab a beer.
Oh, it's a stone's throw away, really, yeah. And I mean, it's beautiful scenery out here, too. It's what I always love, having the forest around us.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even know you guys had a patio in the back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's been a lot nicer recently, so we've been able to open it up. Yeah. But yeah, people love that too.
Yeah, except we're in June, and June really hasn't shown up yet. So.
Yeah, typical North Country.
Yeah,
it'll happen.
Awesome. So the next beer here I see Sith.
Yeah, so it's my West Coast IPA. That was one of the first standard beers that I've put into place to make sure it's here 24/7 for people. Old Soul, a bar in downtown Plattsburgh, carries it. I mean, she flies through it on a regular basis. So people have been loving it, which feels really good.
Yeah, beautiful. Another beautiful nose, as we do. Yep. A toast.
Cheers.
Yeah. Nice, clean West Coast style. Not like the juiciness of the IPA, of the haze craze that's still going on. I thought that would have petered off, but not even close.
I thought so too, yeah.
It might be leveling, but it's not going anywhere. That's for
definitely
sure.
not. I mean, I tried to, especially for the Sith, like I prefer New England styles or just standard IPA over a West Coast IPA. But when I was brewing that, I wanted to try and make sure it wasn't like a bitter hop bomb like they usually are. And I just let it finish a little bit higher than you usually would, so it's a little bit of residual sweetness at the back end, kind of tapers off for that.
Plus two kind of Star Wars inspired labels too, so I'm assuming you're a Star Wars guy.
Yeah, a little bit.
Have you spoken?
So.
Yeah. Well, the owner of Weird Window, he is. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You guys might want to talk at some point.
Okay. Yeah.
He's only in South Burlington, so it's hit the ferry, head over.
Yeah, it's actually not bad.
Yeah. That's another. You guys are so close to Vermont. I'm sure you get spillover of people going back and forth.
Yeah, we definitely do. Yeah, so. I mean, I always love going over to Burlington and just checking out breweries over there too. It's always nice. I've always loved the brewing industry for the community itself.
Yeah.
Especially in our area, it's nice that we have really just the four of us. with us, Sable, Valcor, and Oval. So we're all pretty close and tight knit. Which it's just a good community to have behind you. Whenever I need something, whenever they need something, I just call them up and we help each other out constantly. It's not really a competition, which I love too.
Yeah. You think PBC is going to make a comeback? Plattsburgh Brewing Company?
Probably not. No.
That's
it's been a few
unfortunate
years
too,
at this point.
Yeah. That's unfortunate too. Like when I went, I enjoyed their beer and their food, and it's nice that the hotel's there.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
it's like, okay, I can have a few and not have to worry about driving anywhere.
Yeah.
It's like just pass out after.
I try to stay up to date with it.
Yeah.
'Cause I went there a few years ago, literally a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing that they were saying was they didn't have a brewer and they were looking for a brewer. Yeah. And I think they're still looking for a brewer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
it's crazy too, the amount of home brewer like yourself. It's like, hey, I'm going to try it on a big system.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a totally different beast.
Yeah.
I mean,
It really is.
I lucked out being starting out in a production facility. I didn't homebrew. I think I homebrewed one time before I ended up working in the industry. So having that knowledge beforehand helped me out quite a bit instead of having to almost because when you're teaching yourself, when you're homebrewing and stuff, I always felt that you pick up a lot of bad habits almost that, you can get away with in your house that unfortunately you can't really get away with in a brewery. But
Agreed. It's a totally different game.
yeah.
No, I know it's cleaning. I would miss something. I wouldn't sanitize something properly, and then I'd have my friends over, and they'd be like, "Dude, what the?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, I missed
I've
something."
never had a sour pilsner before. And I'm like, that wasn't supposed to be.
So it's I'll just stick to consuming.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. So I love supporting local companies, local businesses, and stuff like that. And this is my bread and butter. This part of the show, not over there. Yeah.
Well, you're doing a great job highlighting all the breweries. I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you very much.
It's God's work. I mean, it's unpaid, and I appreciate it.
But we get to travel and get to meet awesome guys like yourselves, and
You get free beer too.
yeah,
so,
I
really,
can't
how can
complain
you
about that.
Yeah.
But one of the consistent things, as you mentioned, is you guys all support each other.
Yeah.
And it's such a huge thing. Is I'm out of crystal malts. I'm out of these hops. I'm out of this, and it's like this amazing circle. And I'm guessing a local farmer picks up your spent grain.
Yeah.
It's all like an awesome community that just realizes you all need each other to survive.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and it's friendly competition.
Yeah.
I want you to be successful, but I want to be successful.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell you how many times I just bring new beers over to any of the new breweries. I'm just like, hey, just give me your opinion, give me some a little bit of construction criticism, because I'm fairly new into this. I mean, I've only been brewing for about 2 years, so jumping my head first into this industry has been a whirlwind for sure. But
Was coming from the kitchen to here, what kind of a drastic change was that? I mean, because food science and beer science are two very different things.
Yeah, different but similar.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's for me, it helped quite a bit being able to know flavor combinations. Honestly, it's that's where it helped, and then just the work ethic too. I mean, working in a kitchen for sometimes 10, 12 hours. Whenever you're needed is. Kind of instills that in you, which, breweries are very much the same. It's I could have a 6-hour day, but I could have a 12-hour day the next day.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to go wrong. So, just the work ethic, and then absolutely just ingredients and flavor combinations, and especially how hops work. Certain kind of hops mixing better with others and less good with others. Having that knowledge beforehand helped out quite a bit too.
I'm sure having that kitchen palate and then making the beers, and you're like, okay, if you're gonna have this, drink this. If you're gonna have this, drink this. So, what are some of your favorite foods coming out of the kitchen right now?
We actually we have a brisket sandwich.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, I always go for that.
Yeah, that's been killing it so far too. We also have a meatloaf sandwich, which sounds very strange, but it is.
I made them at home.
Oh, it's delicious, honestly. Yeah, it feels like your grandma just made it and you're eating it.
I've made cold meatloaf sandwiches at home with a little bit of A1 sauce on top.
Oh yeah.
And the pizza.
Yeah.
I definitely have to.
Oh my god, yeah. I eat a pizza constantly.
The pizza for sure.
Are you guys wood fire, or are you maybe thinking of wood fire? Because that right now, the trend of wood fire is crazy.
We are not wood fire.
Okay.
But it is, expensive. So
Well,
it's tough to just throw a wood fire.
You only have, a $25,000 piece of equipment just to cook pizza and stuff?
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. When we already have one that cooks pizza, it's just fine.
Yeah, exactly. Food and beer is it's always been a thing.
Oh, yeah.
How do you not...
Yeah,
Even if you're just sitting down drinking beer, have some nachos. Do something.
Zeke built a pizza oven in his backyard, actually.
I did.
Out of clay and brick.
I do love wood-fired pizza.
Yeah. That's impressive. See, and you guys are a smaller community. It's not Montreal, where we come from, where it's like I'm a stone's throw away from a restaurant.
No, always.
And where
so many different kinds, too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different options.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, well, you don't have to just be downtown Montreal. Now you could go outside downtown Montreal.
Yeah.
It's like same thing here. You don't have to go just Plattsburgh or Old Plattsburgh. You can expand out, and there's more stuff and discover. And you have a computer in your pocket
At all times, they can tell you where to go.
So use that. Stop going to McDonald's or whatever.
Oh my god! Well, people freaked out when they got a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, "This is the best thing that's ever happened to Plattsburgh." Like,
That's
Really?
true.
I'm like, really? I'm like,
Really?
all the local restaurants that sell amazing food that
Yeah.
didn't come off the back of a truck somewhere. You know?
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Honestly, the food scene here, I feel like, is growing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. I mean, between Sip, Twisted Carrot. I mean, here now, like it's been doing really well.
New
awesome.
barbecue place just opened.
Oh, there's a new. I think there's a new Spanish restaurant opening up too soon. An Indian Grill just opened up too.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
Indian place.
Just letting people expand is fantastic. Giving so many different options.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I've said, it's as long as you have a designated driver or you're drinking responsibly, enjoy a beer and a meal.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then if you have a designated driver, that person who isn't driving, enjoy multiple beers.
Yeah.
And the person who is driving, those friends should buy them beer so they can go drink them at home. So, and then you guys brought in the canning line pretty recently, I'm guessing?
Yeah, it was a year and a half ago, I want to say.
Okay.
Yep. It was when I first started here, so it would have been last March. Yeah, so March of 2022 is when we got the canning line. March, April, yeah. Which is, it's the canning line I used to operate on was a 12-head rotary filler. So, I mean, that was massive difference compared to
Push a few buttons, make sure there's not an underpour here.
Yeah, and then it just shoots right through, But compared to the one we have now, which is a single-head Gosling filler, which is, perfect for what we need it for. But yeah, I mean, it was certainly a shock trying to get used to using that. There's so many different intricacies, It's like I have one hand on a laptop over here, like changing my high flow, while I'm down here changing a knob at the same time, and also trying to feed cans, and at the same time, like yelling at Zeke. I'm like, "What's the weight on that can?" Like, it's just like, it gets easier the more you use it, but those first few times are nerve wracking.
Yeah. I feel like we've kind of gotten dialed now.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, my can waste is like nothing now. It's fantastic. Less than a half a case of waste is like, doing 20 cases of something.
Cans are doing well, I'm
Oh,
guessing?
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're getting pushed all over the place, yeah. So we have distribution right now.
Okay, cool.
So it's multiple different, I'm in a ton of different restaurants and bars downtown Plattsburgh, a lot of different gas stations, a lot of different, less gas stations, but more like convenience stores, some tears. And,
Kind of craft beer cabin type
yeah,
place.
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then over Saranac Lake, Tupper Lake, I'm also out in there. And yeah,
So
it's
man's
been
getting
nice.
out there.
Yeah.
Livingood is getting out there, and that's
Yeah.
huge. Like, that is a big draw, because last time I was here, you guys were only growlers at the time.
Yeah.
So that's also almost 2 years ago, but
Right.
and the world's changed a lot. So
Yeah, I mean, I want to start expanding more, and at some point down the line, obviously, but I would love to be able to go to Vermont or New Hampshire and see my beer in a bar down there, or see my beer in a gas station down there or something,
Yeah, that'd be super cool.
Yeah.
is it a little easier in the U.S. for beer to cross state lines?
Depends on the state.
Okay. Yeah.
Unfortunately, heavily depends on the state. Vermont, New York's not so bad.
Okay.
But if we want to cross over to Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
that's its own nightmare.
Because we just came off our World Beer Festival, and I was getting beer from Jester King up in Montreal. I'm like, oh my god, it's pure name hype for sure, and
Yeah.
they do make fantastic beers. But do I want to spend what it takes to import it to Canada? Not really.
Exactly. Yeah.
Jester King, is that a what brewery? Where
They're
is
a huge
that?
brewery in Austin, Texas right now.
Okay, cool.
A lot of farm style. I would say they're the Texas version of Hill Farmstead.
Interesting.
Oh, I know Hill
yeah.
Farmstead. Yeah, they're pretty famous.
Very enjoyable beers, but for what they cost at our World Beer Festival was very expensive.
It was like $10 for a pint or something. Or?
$5 for a taster.
Okay.
Jesus.
Like that size? Or
Yeah,
a little bit
one of
bigger?
these, $5.
Ooh.
That's a lot of money.
Yep. It gets a little heavy on the wallet. So let's go to this next beer, Mountain View.
Yeah, so that's my rotating sour. So that one is mango and passion fruit. The previous one was strawberry rhubarb, and we had a goza after that, which was a peach goza. So next time my flavors are going to be cherry and lime. Either that or strawberry basil. I haven't decided yet. But
So you always have a rotating sour.
Always.
Goza sour.
yep. So
however
every
you
time
want
that batch is done, the next batch will always be something different.
it. This is the one with lactose, right? That you mentioned
Yes, a
pre-show?
little
Okay.
tiny bit of lactose. Yeah.
So it's not for all the
In
vegans.
case you're intolerant.
Yeah. Or a vegan. A toast.
Toast.
Yeah, it's probably only like 5-10% lactose or something.
Wow. That is tasty. That's hitting all like just the outsides of my tongue.
Thank you.
We're really happy
I
with how that
really
one turned
proud
out.
about that. Yeah.
I remember we like carved it up, mixed it, and we tasted it. It's like, oh shit, this is good.
This is tasty.
Yeah.
There was a big point of pride for me was when my front of house manager, he does not like beer. He's not a beer person. And he bought a case of that to bring down to Florida with him on his vacation and drank the whole thing while he was down there.
Like a 2-4 or flat?
Yeah, like a whole,
yeah.
oh yeah, like brought it down because he was like, I love this. He's like, I don't like beer, but I love this beer. And I was like, that's what I love to hear. Yeah.
That is always the greatest compliment when someone's like, I don't like beer and I like this.
No, it's my favorite thing in the world.
I love hearing that.
Yeah, I do love. It's rarer now because I've already gotten everybody into it. But getting people into beer, it's like it's not what it is. It's not.
Well, people hear craft beer and the first thing they think is like, oh, I'm gonna drink this and all I'm gonna taste is pine needles.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, that's not how that works. It's not always. There's 116 styles of beer.
Yeah.
Like statistically, you have to like one of them.
I mean, you even got the thing on the wall.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like there's one out there I promise that you would enjoy. Yeah.
A beer, and even if you don't drink beer, as mentioning supporting local, there's cider companies.
Oh, absolutely.
There's vineyards.
Yeah.
There's distilleries now. There's something for you to drink. Even meads.
Yeah.
Like meads in Vermont are crazy right now. I can't believe how much that scene has expanded in the state of Vermont.
Yeah.
And we're lucky enough in Quebec too to have a couple of really good meaderies, or meaderies as we call them, which is basically honey beer.
Right.
There's always a local company to support. There's no question about it.
Always.
Totally.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was looking at your podcast. I saw you doing a lot of meads recently.
Yeah, no, they're tasty. I do love craft alcohol. It's my thing. It's become my thing over the last 15, 20 years.
Right.
And it all started where a beer festival, which you guys are, as of the release of this, will have done today. So.
Yeah, we're going to Brew Force immediately after this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, super excited about that.
Yeah. I know Brew Force works for charitable donations towards the military.
Right. Yep.
You just came in. You're mentioning you're looking at starting to do some charity work with Livingood.
Yeah, so I think next year it might be a little bit easier for my production schedule next year, but for June next year I want to do like a Pride Month and donate to either Planned Parenthood or maybe some similar organization. But I want us to be able to reach more out into the community to help the community as well. They help us so much just by coming in and buying our beer and food. I would love to be able to give back to them and help in some way too. Yeah,
that's huge. And on top of that, you guys have your giant event space.
Yeah, the great room. Yeah, I mean, we always have baby showers. We have like we had a magician come through before. We've had like comedians come through. We've had a few bands occasionally. I know we had a magician recently. Murder mystery.
Yeah,
I think I might have said magician twice, or one of them probably came out.
No, it's been three.
One of them, it's fine. But yeah, we had
bachelorette parties.
Stuff. Yeah, oh my god, so many things.
Yeah,
it's a great space. Honestly, I want to do music more. I mean, I'm not ahead of that.
I mean, we make Zeke go in the back and belly dance for the bachelorette parties. Actually, it's a crazy scene, really.
I made pretty good tips.
At no cost extra, which is surprising. But
I was assuming G-string dollars down.
Yeah, always.
See, that's
we're a classy joint.
Yeah, okay.
So quarters if you can spare it. But.
See, that's the problem in Canada. I can't stick a loony to a stripper.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I mean, you can try.
We've got so many strip clubs in Montreal. It's so difficult.
You can throw a loony and hit 3 of them.
Yeah. I just got to be careful with that. So, that's thankfully, it's not as easy to sue me in Canada as it would be here.
That's true.
If I were to chuck a loony in a stripper's eyeball and she were to lose an eye, but then that might be a fetish for some people. So you got to be careful with that.
Well, really, I mean, you're tapping into a small market at that point.
Yeah. It's there though. I don't shame anybody for that kind of stuff. You do what you want to do, but I'm not into one-eyed women right now.
That's fine. Just live your best life. I'm not here to judge anyone. Just
I like how
beer.
you said
That's
right
all I
now.
care about.
Yeah. I know the previous brewery used to have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Do you guys see yourselves doing that at some point?
Yeah, I do want to kind of get back into that. I mean, I have like I've garnered a fairly large like social media following just myself through like TikTok and Instagram and stuff. So being able to use that and like expand into my business a little bit more would be phenomenal. But
do you talk about that on TikTok at all?
Brewing sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know I'm 40. I'm going to be 44. I'm too old for TikTok.
Yeah, I'm 28. I'm still early into this life. So
yeah, you're in that right range, and I don't know what's allowed on TikTok and stuff. I know for our show, no swearing and
well, I mean, I just
alcohol consumption, but
I love sharing my life and
Yeah.
brewing experiences and stuff with just whoever wants to listen to me.
and then you're clearly all ages being a restaurant. having a restaurant
absolutely,
license
yeah.
first, so you don't have to just have adults in here. And you mentioned baby showers, bachelorettes. Stuff
Yeah,
like that,
so many different things. Yeah.
Yeah, this is
we're
a big
dog
family
friendly
restaurant.
too, so if you want to, the outside patio is,
Yeah.
we don't have to worry about that. So, as long as you're outside, and bring your pups and I guess cats if you want or whatever. A hamster if you can have the little transport ball.
I've been working from home the last 3 years because of the pandemic, and there's a woman who walks her cat in a leash, and I'm like, my mind, every time I see it, my mind's blown somehow, because you don't see that.
I mean, I've seen the
becoming-
backpacks,
Yeah.
like the backpacks, the cat, you just sit in and got a little window in it. Yeah.
Could you see yourselves? I know of breweries that done it. I believe it's Black Lab Brewing in Toronto. They made a dog beer, or called it a bark brew or something like that. Could you see yourselves making like a non-alcoholic kind of dog beer?
I've
dog
looked
beer,
into
okay.
making NA beer just to have here for people who are like sober or who don't want to drink. I would definitely make a dog beer if I could. Yeah, I'd make it peanut butter flavored or something. They'd lose their minds when they drank it. It'd be fantastic.
A beer for a dog. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought dog beer was like a
No, they weren't putting
term.
dogs in the beer. Like,
No, that's not what
I wonder what kind of the yeast those would produce. You really got to filter out the certain parts.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's only so much my plate filter can do.
Have the dog swimming around the fermented
Yeah,
tank.
that's fine.
NAs though, that is really big right now.
That
is blowing
the
up.
market is really taking
It's
off with
tough
NAs.
though. I mean, it's tough to make something that doesn't taste like wort in a can. Really, it's like
Not an easy job.
yeah.
Not an
I've
easy
had
job.
some. There's been a few like Athletic Brewing is really good, and I've had their beer before, and I was like, oh wow, I'm like this is actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
But then I had like O'Doul's one time, and I was like, wow, someone pissed in this bottle and handed it to me.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
It's, we've NA producers are becoming bigger and bigger and bigger because people just don't want to drink alcohol. It's the curve, unfortunately, and that's another thing that I always I live in the land of Quebec where we're allowed to drink at 18, whereas not so much here in America. It's 21. It's federal law, right?
Yeah.
It's
It's not even state. Like
Yeah.
you have to be 21. Yeah.
Which I'm sure you guys love to be able to serve somebody, especially Plattsburgh military base,
Right. Yeah.
serve a soldier a beer.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'd rather deal with drunk 21-year-olds than drunk 18-year-olds any day of the week. But.
drunk until you're like 25, you're still crazy and wacky.
Yeah, right. You know,
Doing
but
some
I mean,
wacky stuff.
I remember how
so-
I was when I was 18,
Yeah.
when I was 21. So
Plus, your family, you mentioned, Keihin, your family lineage is from Canada, so you're like, oh, well, they got to drink at 18 in Montreal, so.
sneak across the border.
I know that's huge. Is in Montreal all the time, going like watching a UFC at a bar, and it's like just young drunk American kid being like, Quebec's the best place ever. I got to drink beer.
That's so
like,
funny.
I'm going to bars since 16. Sorry, I've been going to bars since 18, dude. So fantastic. Moon Unit.
Yes. So it's a smash beer. The single malt, single hop.
Yep.
We just used those pale ale from Baird's and those Zappa's hops. So those hops are actually named after Frank Zappa. So I named that beer after his daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. You guys are empty, so.
Well, actually, we got cans right here. So.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. I didn't even think about it.
Oh, wait till you're
Oh, yeah.
filled up a bit there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can't do that empty beard.
It's rude.
I think it's bad luck too if you do that.
That's definitely bad luck, and we didn't need all the luck we can get in a brewery. So.
Almost, yeah, for sure. Especially with the last couple of years of everything that's happened. Oh yeah, nice and clean.
Yeah, I called it a lawnmower beer. You know, you can mow your lawn and drink like 4 of those and be fine.
Yeah, we've discovered the lawnmower ciders.
Oh yeah.
So
Nice.
I am deathly allergic to apples. So I am
that's not
Definitely.
good.
not a deathly. Yeah, I
Definitely
will. I
allergic.
will die.
Yeah. I mean, there's some sours out there too with apple now too. It's
Oh, I gotta be careful. Yeah, I went into full anaphylaxis one time at a bar because of that specifically.
it's like here's a shot of Jack. It's Apple Jack.
Yeah, exactly.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So we're a
I'm-
cider-free brewery.
Yeah, I mean, knock on wood. Thankfully, I'm not personally allergic to any food. It's just nature tries to kill me. Trees hate me. So.
Oh my God, yeah. That's where the apple allergy came from.
Yeah.
Actually, I learned it was my horrible seasonal allergies.
Oh, is that how it developed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's. I'm telling you, humans are not designed to last past like 25, but yet somehow we keep going
we
now.
persevere. I think we're all just stubborn. That's what it is.
Yeah, we
We
refuse
just refuse to give up. Yeah.
There's a bad pandemic going on? No. Invest in science. So,
Exactly.
Awesome. So you guys have quite a few flagships.
We do, yeah.
What's your what are the people are coming here and they're going for a flagship that they're going to hear about? What are those top like 4 that you're going to put in a flight for your flagship flight?
I would say so. JED definitely, our maple vanilla porter, Chasm absolutely, and then Sith is now like like Keihin's branded flagship for Livingoods. I would say,
Okay.
kind of making sure my print is on the business.
Yeah.
Because the other 3 were here before I got here. I just adapted the recipes into something that I found more suitable for this place, but Sith is my baby.
Is there a pre-constructed flight list you give for beer amateurs?
No, I just kind of let people. So I only charge for flights. I don't charge for samples.
Okay.
So if someone just wants to sample a beer, they're more than welcome to do that
Yeah.
at any point. It's free of charge. Just 1 or 2 if that's fine. If they want a flight, they're also welcome to do that. But I want to encourage people to try as much beer as they possibly can.
And the training you give the people behind the bar who are serving the beers, like where's that come in? Are you trying to get them at that beer server level, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I do my best to make sure that pouring is like just the biggest thing I feel, and I've gather all the servers and hosts together before and just be like, hey guys, like let's just run through real quick, like how I think that, or how I feel like I want you to pour this beer, and it's like this is kind of glass I'd rather have it in, or like I want this one served with an orange, and stuff like that. But we all kind of come together as a team to make sure that stuff happens.
Yeah. It sounds clearly like you guys are in a sense of family.
Yeah.
At here, even though I'm sure you get rotating staff because it's a kitchen.
Which is typical with the restaurant
yeah.
industry, and
Yeah.
it's like I always wish everyone the best, whether they're coming or going. But yeah.
And when the border reopened, as I said, just having Canadians back here again with all their Plattsburgh shopping and then coming here for a meal, was it nice to hear that again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. A boot and oot.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me specifically, it's like my father's from Montreal,
Yeah.
born and raised, so I'm used to that accent. I hear it every day of my life, so
Yes.
it's weirder for me not to hear it than it is for me to hear it.
It was nice to like finally have Americans back in Montreal, since we are a big tourist town.
Oh yeah.
So, and we need American tourist dollars.
Yeah,
I mean, I've
$4.
always felt super welcome
Yeah.
every time I go to Montreal.
Yeah. No, I love my city. I can never see myself leaving it.
Right.
But also, if the opportunity came to, like, let's say, move to Burlington or even Albany. I mean, Albany has some great beer, and it's only not even 2 hours down the road.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, true.
The state of New York is really, you guys are starting to kick some butt.
We are.
So,
yeah, I've noticed that just in the last few years. I mean, the craft beer scene in New York has been just going up and up, really.
Does the New York State Brewing Association help at all with like promotions?
We did, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely, yeah. I mean, like one of our local breweries, ABI, pulled a gold medal at the most recent New York State beer festival for Wayne Legitsky, and then Valcor also pulled, I think it was a silver and a bronze, right? So I mean, just got a ton of people around the area that are friends of ours just pulling medals all the time. And, it gets broadcast all over the place through websites and social media and stuff, so people know that they're pulling medals. And it's fantastic. We'll be putting beer in next year, which I'm super excited about. Throwing JED and Sith in there and see if we can get anything.
To me, it's simple. This is like Plattsburgh, Peru. ABI is the stop to. I'm driving to New York.
Yeah.
You're on the 87, or even people who are driving all the way to Florida, like the snowbirds.
I mean, and we're right off the exit too.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, you just get off the Peru exit, and you can just see us. It's fantastic. It's right there.
Yeah. Even the snowbirds driving out to Florida, you're taking the 87.
Oh yeah.
You're after driving for an hour and maybe getting pulled over the border because you're driving a big RV.
It's a massive RV. Yeah.
Stop in for a beer.
It's got 16 wheels on it. 4 living rooms.
And you guys have a huge parking lot in front. I'm sure you could have an RV or two if you
we
want.
probably could. Yeah.
And we have electrical hookups.
There you go.
Yeah, it's true. You can charge your Tesla or whatever here. Yeah.
I mean, come on down. You guys are, to me, a prime spot to stop at.
Yeah.
Because Valcor and Oval, being real close to each other if you're walking, it's great.
Oh yeah, they're
But it's a little out of the way of the person shopping in Plattsburgh, where if you're shopping in Plattsburgh, you're back on the 87. You just come down 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That's it. So, and then go visit the guys at ABI. Between May and November, I believe. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You can show up in the other months, so you're probably just not going to get beer.
You're sitting there like, why is nobody serving me?
The scenery is beautiful, but there's nothing in front of me.
Awesome. I got one last beer here to try.
Yeah, so that's Froth Wagon. That's actually what's in both of our cups right here. So I figured we'd end on what we were both drinking.
Awesome. A toast.
Cheers.
Is that like a grainy cereal note I'm getting?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of biscuit in there. But it's a New Zealand Pilsner. That's the last beer that my former head brewer and I brewed before he took off.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it was his recipe. I brewed it, took care of it, did everything else. But, it's very much still his kind of fingerprint before he took off. So,
Okay, cool.
Pay a little homage to Owen before.
Very tasty.
Yeah.
Solid beer. I mean,
Delicious.
I always start with a Pilsner or a lager. I judge a brewery by a lager.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, lagering is not easy, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I have a Mexican lager coming out soon that, next time you're down here, let me know, or I can ship you some cans probably.
Nice, tasty corn lager.
Yeah, oh my God.
And it is the season for those tasty lagers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mexican and Japanese, whatever, just
enjoy we homebrewed a Japanese lager,
okay.
it was last summer, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was last summer.
Yeah, I think it was on tap for maybe like a week and a half before everyone finished it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, no, it's great, man. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Awesome. So I know on the website, this is a vision realized by the previous owners.
Yeah.
Where does the vision go from here?
From here, I would love to expand more, just really get my beer in my name and just expand it like into different areas of New York preferably, and then eventually maybe over in Vermont, and like different states across state lines. That's really where I see this company going. Slowly expanding out, maybe a bigger location, bigger brew house for me, wider production range, bigger canning line, all that stuff. I want to see, I love my hometown. I love being here, and I would love to see anything here prosper, and especially the business that I'm a part of.
You see yourself maybe dragging in kind of like a small little, like a marketing person, sending them to the festivals in Syracuse, Buffalo?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Okay.
I'm willing to, I'll wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to load a van and, haul him and I down there to Syracuse for a brew festival if I have to or whatever, I know he's just as willing to do that. We're both hungry for this,
Absolutely.
I mean, both of us want to do amazing things in this industry, and I fully believe both of us will.
100%.
Yeah.
Plus you have the giant parking lot and cornhole becoming a huge thing.
Oh my God, yeah. We
DC.
actually just had a cornhole tournament like in October here.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we had an Oktoberfest here.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So you do still events like Oktoberfest, I'm assuming some sort of summer festival thing.
Yeah.
Set up a big tent. I mean,
the
sun can beat down on you here. So.
Yeah, we have like an artisan market here that we do too. Once a month, bring a bunch of local vendors in too. They set up in the great room and they sell all of their products here too. And yeah, it's really nice.
I guess bring in elves and 4 maples and have them set up outside. That's cool. So yeah, it's the circle of supporting each other. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. So honestly, guys, thanks a lot for talking about Livingoods, the beer, the food.
Yeah, thanks for coming down.
We really
appreciate it.
Super look forward to grabbing a meal. I know this is a little longer in the making because I had to cancel last time because I caught COVID for the one time I've had it. Thank you guys very much. Really appreciate today. For those who are looking for Livingoods, where can they find you?
Yeah, we are right off of, it's exit 35, right?
Yes.
Yes. So there's so many exits that are clustered together in this 87 part. Exit 85, or it's 35 right off. I mean, as soon as you pull off, you'll see it right there. We're in Peru, New York. Please come through. We are open 6 days a week, just not open on Mondays. Beer, food, wings, all that good stuff.
What's specifically the address, though, for those who are typing with the Waze or anything?
687 Bear Swamp.
Okay. Yeah. And social media?
Just Livingoods on Facebook, a restaurant and brewery, and then I think we also have an Instagram page now, which also would be Livingoods Restaurant and Brewery.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So that's going to be in the show notes. As for us, allbeerinside.com is the website. Add All Beer Inside on all social media. And as I say at the end of all episodes, drink craft, not crap.